Hello, Oils 440. This is Satyan Patel with the final project that I've been working on for this semester. So, what I did was for my final project is I took two of the places I work for. I work for APS teaching Scratch programming, and then I also work for an HVAC company doing contract work, as in networking, database, security, and all these other things. But what I did was I created a training example, and the HVAC place that I work for actually does have a classroom and they do provide training and stuff, but they've been trying to go in a different direction. And so I used that as an example. I'm not the trainer or the person involved in it, but I can overview and see how it's going and stuff, and then I just basically created my own thing off of that. So the fictitious company that I created was or is Raven's HVAC company, and it uses Scratch programming. And Scratch was developed, I would say, probably about 30 years ago. It's a graphical user interface, GUI interface type programming that many might be familiar with when it comes to Draw, or it was called Draw in the early 80s on an Apple IIe, or it was sometimes called Turtle. But now it's called Scratch, and it's been heavily developed by MIT and Google. And if anybody's interested, I can provide them a link where it won't install the programming language, but you can use it right through your web browser and learn how to program using like Lego block type system, and it's pretty interesting. Anyway, so the problem that I've seen, and the problem that I thought I would be nice to approach, is that in the HVAC systems, um, you know, there's been a large problem with learning how to program these modules, as as what they do is they install large heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems for clean rooms like Intel, Siemens, GE, and some of these other companies that also do government contracting. And so you need these extremely clean rooms, but you also need highly energy efficient systems. You also need very controlled environments, because you don't want people getting too cold, you don't want people getting too hot, but at the same time, when components are produced, you don't want large margins of temperature change also. And so a lot of these modules, when they're being installed for climate control basically, and for environmental energy efficiency. So basically what happens is, like, you can have a solar powered system or outdoor ventilation system where in the winter it uses the heating from mechanical equipment that heats up and it pumps that into the environment, so saving energy on the heating bill. But at the same time, if the area gets too hot, you know, there could be a vent that opens up automatically and lets out the hot air, especially like in the summertime. So a lot of this is very complicated. Some of these systems have actually been set up using like Arduino and custom programming, but many times these modules are available. So the programming language I chose was Scratch, only because it was simple and something that I already use in a different environment. But that is basically the premises of my final project, is being able to teach these technicians and teach them how this equipment works and how to garner the training for them, whether it be through gamification or apps or internal use programs that require like a login, but are installed on a cloud services system. But basically that's what my final project is working with the HVAC, which is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning environment technicians, and teaching them this new programming language so that they can program these modules rather than having to have contracted individuals that fly in from around the country, and it is very expensive. And I have seen these guys fly in from around the country to do just custom programming, and then they're gone. And it'd be nice if the technicians could do it themselves. But yeah, that's the fictitious company, Ravens HVAC, and then the fictitious problem that I came up with for this final project. And I'll also be using a Gantt chart, and I'll try to create a screenshot for that so that this presentation has it. But the Gantt chart just shows like the training, if it was to occur, what would be the timeline of that training and how it would occur and what would be, hopefully the results and things. But I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I tried not to make it too long, and I'm not much for words, but I try. Thank you.